Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, world's largest professional organization committed to the advancement of technological innovation and excellence to benefit all of community. This association has developed thousands of standards to provide a basis for regulation and remove barriers for development. It is designed to serve professionals involved in all aspects of electrical and computing fields and related areas of science and technology that underlie modern civilization. Interesting fact is that IEEE has a community of 420,000 members from all professions, including students, doctors, engineers, and professionals, and 5 million IEEE Explore content. IEEE has more than 40 societies to engage maximum people on their own. Some of communities are IEEE Aerospace and Electronic Systems Society, IEEE Antennas and Propagation Society, IEEE Circuits and Systems Society, IEEE Component Packaging and Manufacturing Technology Society. Okay, so here is our program. IEEE Potential Development Webinar Series. Prior time to start a new life. The main purpose of this webinar series is to engage maximum people with this fruitful and healthy activity in this pandemic situation. There are interesting topics with great speakers, and we will spend some good time together. Okay, so here is our series timeline. We have total 10 webinars with 2 bonus sessions on different work themes like mental well-being, research methodology, personal development, sustainable development and coherent national research agenda in Pakistan. Find your inner skills and start making money. Value of entrepreneurship. Study of COVID-19 from the perspective of control systems. Personal branding. If you don't find it, create it. The last one is time management. Okay, 140 people attended our first webinar on mental well-being by Mariam Rashid via Facebook and WebEx. 151 people attended our second webinar on research methodology by Dr. G.S. Javed. 110 people attended our third webinar on personal development by Mariam Rahman. 103 people attended our fourth webinar on sustainable development and coherent and national research agenda in Pakistan by Naveed Ahmad Unar. 180 people attended our fifth webinar on Find Your Inner Skills and Start Making Money by Aisha Tabassum. Today's speaker is Mohamed El Dallal, senior entrepreneur. He will talk on value of entrepreneurship. Mohamed El Dallal is a serial entrepreneur, currently the co-founder and CEO of Innovideas LLC for marketing and advertising, co-founder of Decourse LLC for software solutions, and co-founder and board member of Techni Summit, a yearly international conference aimed at supporting and encouraging technological entrepreneurship in Egypt. Okay, so here we have an activity for you during the webinar. What you need to do is you need to follow these instructions. Take a screenshot of the webinar or take a selfie with the webinar. Share your experience on your Facebook or Instagram and mention us at these Facebook and Insta IDs. An additional certificate and special shout out on our Insta account. Hand over to Mohamed El Dallal.
Hello, can you hear me?
Sir, you're audible. You can start.
Thank you. Thank you for this great invitation, and thank you also for um, the starting. Actually, it's my first time talking to Lahore section or Pakistan generally. I see a great work. I'm really impressed of the series of the online webinars that you did. And we are thankful at the Region 8 Entrepreneurship Initiative choosing us to be part of your series of webinars. So to start, today I will be giving a glimpse about what is our initiative in IEEE Region 8 do, and the basics of entrepreneurship or the values of entrepreneurship. I'll try to share screen with you guys. We can have questions by the end of the talk. Can you confirm that you are seeing my screen? Abdurrahman and Mohammed, can you confirm seeing my screen?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Okay, thank you very much. So today we'll be talking about the Region 8 Entrepreneurship Initiative in a few minutes, and then we will go to the Entrepreneurship 101 or values. This initiative started in August 2018 on the Region 8. It started that we need to help or we need to connect entrepreneurs or tech entrepreneurs that they are members in the IEEE with some good benefits, like connecting with other entrepreneurs, connecting with the ecosystem, providing mentorship, having a startup competition. This initiative is supported by IEEE Young Professionals, IEEE Foundation, Action for Industry Committee in Region 8, Professional and Educational Activities Committee in Region 8. So what this committee do is, these are the 4 programs: IEEE Pitch, Talkspreneur, IEEE Region 8 Entrepreneurship Week, and Mentorship. Well, I will start with the first one, which is the Region 8 Entrepreneurship Week. It started last year in 2019. We got all over Region 8 more than 130 ambassadors from different, more than 25 countries. So each and every ambassador should have a local event, a local pitching event, and also giving them some awareness about entrepreneurship. In Region 8, we didn't have a lot about entrepreneurship before, so this was almost the first time. We made more than 20 countries. We get the pitching. There was a pitching event in each and every event. The 3 winners were qualified for what's called IEEE Pitch, and I will talk about it in a few minutes. So we are in 2020 now. So we are opening the call of ambassador. This is the link of the forum if you would like to have ambassadors there, giving people doing a lot about entrepreneurship. I know you are in Region 10. Hopefully that you can do also this in Region 10 soon, but we can collaborate in a way or another. We can talk about it after that. And program is the IEEE Pitch. As I told you in the first local event in the Entrepreneurship Week, you get out from this the first 3 winners. All these winners are collected, and there is another pitching on the regional level. This was the judging panel, and these are the 6 startups who won with us in IEEE Pitch last year. The third program is an online, of course, due to the lockdown and the COVID-19, and we are almost everyone sitting at home. So you make webinars. We did 2 webinars, and the third one will be in 3rd of June. It's the power of volunteering for successful entrepreneurship. If you have some time, just let us know. And join us. We have different speakers from all over the world. The second was from Lebanon, now from the US, and she's an African base. So we are trying to get a diversification of speakers to cover every need. The fourth thing is that we get discounts for that help entrepreneurs. So these are two discounts with knowledge officers and with Zaka for AI and for courses for entrepreneurs. We have 30% and 20% on the other. So if you see this beneficial for you, use our promo code and go for it. The IEEE Region 8 initiative itself, it's mainly supporting other initiatives. So there was a hackathon, quarantine hackathon, that took place. It was supported by us. It started in IEEE section Egypt site, and then it was rolled out all over the region. So this was what IEEE do generally. I think now let's go with the main session, which is the startups. What the word startup means for you? Like, if you know, what's the first thing that gets into your mind if you are told a startup or an entrepreneur? Okay, so this is the question is. So let's take the next step. Do you want to be a startup owner or a co-founder or a founder? Do you think this word is big for you and you would like be famous, like the pictures like Mark or Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or whatever, Elon Musk's? What's the second thing get to you when you are entrepreneurs? These are people who make a lot of money. They are rich people. Let me tell you that this is not the real story. First of all, entrepreneurship definition by Eric is a human institution designed to deliver a new product or service under condition of extreme uncertainty. This means that it's not easy at all to work under a lot of certainty. So my first advice is that startups, it's not a lot of money, it's not being famous. Startups are hard. Actually, they are very hard, not hard only. And what you need to know about startups is this. Startups are life shortening, and then again, life shortening. Co-founders are not that celebrities who post on Facebook or post on social media or on Instagram and just say I'm a founder and have a business card and go networking and wear nice suits and becoming rich. It's not that easy or not that way that you need to know. You need to know that 90% of the startups failed. Actually, there's some records like more than 90%, but most of the records say that there are 90% who fail. And this gives you a bad impression. I know you are a bit like, okay, I will close this online. I wouldn't like to hear more about entrepreneurship. It's very hard. Everyone is failing. I don't like this presentation. Okay, so let's go back. I was telling you the truth at the beginning, how it was a bit hard. It's not easy, but there's 10% who succeeds. So let's know how to start. This could be the good step. So we will be talking like on 5 or 6 pillars. The first one is the ideation or the idea. What you need to know that the idea is worth without implementation. So if you have the best idea on the planet and you think you have it all, believe me, you without execution, it's nothing. I know maybe I'm like a bit getting pessimistic or like making you feel bad, but this is the real story. And believe it or not, don't think that you have the idea that has never been thought before. And don't believe that if you told your idea to another one, he will steal it. Ideas are worthless without implementation. The way of implementation itself, the execution, change from the idea to a business. We can be 2 or 3 people having the same idea, and when we execute it, it's having total different output because execution matters a lot. So how I think about the idea, like this is the first step, is the ideation, how I think. So Simon have a theory, a very nice theory. People would like to know why, how, what. Okay? It's not about what you do, it's about why you do it. So when you have an idea and you are going to pitch it for an investor or for some businessman or for suppliers or even co-founders or team, you need to start with the why. Why you are doing this. The real impact or the real value proposition from your product or your service. Don't start, I will do an application or do a website or I will do a gadget that I will be using the coding language PHP, HTML5. No, I will be using iOS. It will be on Android. This is not what people would like to hear. They would like to hear why you are doing it. The platform and the technology behind is a what. This will come after. But people will need to find the problem that you are solving, which is a why, and then how you will be solving it, and then what you will do to solve it. So please think of it like this: why, how, what. So start with the why, the problem you're facing, how you are solving it, how you will be managing to do this, then what you will do to execute this. Another point about the idea is that you need to look for problems. Think what people need now to elaborate. Number 2 is focus. You're not a one-stop shop. Don't think, okay, I will start, let's build a Facebook. So I need a messenger and I need pages, I need posts, I need edits, I need videos. Don't put everything in one shop. Like I will do, like, for example, Uber, for example. It's a mobile application for getting or like getting drivers to get you from a place to another. So they are not a Facebook, they are not a place where people can add each other or communicate together or send messages. It's a dark place where you just see and be solid in it. It's a driving place, okay? So this is mainly what the idea is. So the next point is be clear and be solid. You need to be clear, very clear actually in your steps. You need to know what exactly you are posting or you are sharing or what are your aim from this startup. Number 4, and a lot of startups don't do it, and a lot of failures come from this point, which is what is the market research? Okay, you have a great idea, you feel that you are solving people's problems, you are happy doing this, you feel that this is a great step, okay, great. The main part is the market research. Who are my competitors? I'm the only one doing this, or there's a lot of competitors that are being with us. If you are their competitors, what's your edge? What's your unique selling point? Who are the customer base? You need to know your customers. You need to have a good segmentation, targeting, and positioning, which is the STP. Segmenting your customers, targeting how you reach to them, and what's the positioning for your solution. What's the first thing a positioning is? What is the first thing the customers will say if you hear this brand, if you hear your name of your startup? Okay, I'm positioning myself as the great repair shop for mobiles. So what the positioning is, people would like to, when you hear your name, they unconsciously say, this is the repair shop for mobiles. This is how it goes. The next step is rethink about the product. Because sometimes you feel that you know everything and it's very easy and it's clear to you that you see the problem and it's clear to you to see the solution, but it's very hard to connect both of them. Last point in the ideas is that you need to know the marketing mix. What's the marketing mix? Simply a marketing mix is the 4 P's or the 5 P's or the 7 P's, whenever you are at school of business or you're reading from a marketing book, but it's mainly the price, the place, the promotion, the people. Who are the people who will buy this? How you'll do promotions, which is the advertising channels and the PR and include everything, direct sales and everything. The place, is it online, it's offline, it's the markets, in which shelf in the market, and the price. All of this marketing makes you need to mix and match between them to meet the market research that you already did in the beginning, to compete and have a unique selling point to the market. The last point in this before I leave it, I would like to share this. Selling is never easy, even when you are a big company. And when you are a startup, it's even harder. So my point here is that you need to think, don't think that Microsoft or Apple or whatever the biggest companies ever are having ease to get market share. No, they are fighting. There is a lot of competitors. They are like boosting a lot of money for promotions. Why they are doing all this? To sell. All these account managers and sales teams to increase the selling. So if they are suffering like this, think of yourself as a startup with 2, 3, 4 co-founders or team members. It's a bit harder. So think of it. The next step, try to balance between the profits and the idea. You can have the greatest idea, and it's really having a great impact for people's life. And it's very cool, and people are happy with it, but it's not profits. Or the revenue, or it gets some small revenues, but the revenues is just covering the running cost or maybe less. At the end of the day, you are doing a negative, which is a negative profits, which is named that loss. So your business or your startup is losing. Excuse me, if this is the case, there's something wrong, and this is not a business. Whatever the idea is, believe me, we are here for doing business as an entrepreneurs. We are not an NGO. So if you feel that you are more comfortable there, like build an NGO and go for it. But if you took the track of building a business or building a startup, so just go for it, that you are doing this for business and you are doing this for money. The second and the hardest point or pillar that a lot of startups have too much problem, especially after the 3-4 years from the start. Who is the team? So there is co-founders, which they have a share in your company, the teammates, the employees, the partners, the suppliers, and it goes like that. Choosing the co-founder is one of the hardest mission that you should be doing. It's very hard because people are different backgrounds, different mindsets, and different cultures. Even there, if we're living on the same country or the same city, people's dreams are different. So to have a good co-founder, you need to be aligned with him or with her long-term vision. Like, what if we lost all the money? And what if we gain a profit of hundreds, multiple of our capital? What will we be doing with this profit? Are we sharing it or reinvesting it in the company? All these questions you need to ask yourself and ask your co-founders. Each one needs to sit alone and write down and pencil down what is or her vision and mission, how they see the company, what they need from this company, from profits, from running costs, what the ultimate goal for them. If we couldn't align all the visions together of the co-founders, it's better to stop from the beginning, not to have a lot of problems after that. It's different from having a silent partner who are investing money and he don't work a lot. Just have a share of money, like stock market or whatever we'll be talking in funding part. It's easier. Choosing the supplier, you need a lot of good suppliers. You need to have a plan A and B and C and D actually, from grades of suppliers, pricing. Don't put yourself in a chain of 1 or 2 suppliers. As for the teammates, you need to choose them well also, but it's not the hardest thing. The hardest thing is mainly the co-founders. Choosing your team, there's a very basic thing that is called business model canvas. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with it or not. It is very easy one paper that simply gets you everything in one page. Like it maps everything. So the best thing of this business model canvas is that you write it down. So you see every single details about your startup before starting. This makes your life easier. If you Google it, you will find that this is the shape. It's a place where you have value proposition, customer segmentation, and customer channels, revenue stream. On the other side, or the left side, is the key partners, key activities, key resources, and cost structure. This is the look for it. It's a one page, so please print it out and try to fill it. It's filled as I number it here. So we start with the value proposition. What is the main value that your startup will be adding for your customers? Okay. Number 2 is the customer segmentation. And for filling 1 and 2, okay, you need to go to this, the value proposition canvas. It's also, you can find it online, and it's only 1 page printed. So the value proposition is listing your product and services. And as we mentioned before in the ideation phase, you are not a one-stop shop. List what really you do it good. The services or the product that you have a selling edge in it. Then you on number two, you will fill the customers. So you create some personas who are the target customers. And we also mentioned it before, which is the STP, segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So you list what the customers do, what's their interest, what's the demographics, geographics, what age are they, you are targeting female, male, you are targeting young age, mid-age, who is your primary and secondary customers. And then you go back and forth between them, which is the gains, what will be the gains and the pains. So you are trying to solve a problem with your startup idea, which is a pain for the customer. So you need to list the pains and then do what we call as pain relievers. And also think what will make this customer more happy from other competitors. These are the gains, like some promotions, like there will be having a delivery service to your home. The delivery service will make the food very good, the quality, whatever. These are the gains that will make the customer more happy. While you're filling the value proposition canvas, it's not a one directional, it's a two directional. So you write a number one something, and then you go to number two, and then you find you are missing something, you get back to number one, and back and forth till you finish this. When you finish this, take all number one and take all number two and get back to the BMC, which is the business model canvas, and insert it in number one and in number two. The value proposition and the customer segmentation. Okay. Number three is the channels. You have a value proposition, you have a startup, and you have your customers. You need to make these customers have the value proposition or have the startup. To have this is the channels. How these customers will see the values or the startup. How is it delivery based? It's on market, it's online, it's an e-commerce shop, whatever. Number four, how you will build customer relations. These customers need to be loyal to you. So it's easy to get a lot of impact the first day the startup is up. We name it that, like a lot of people are coming to see what's there. But the hard part of the story is to make this client get back to you, the rebounds. So not only coming once, but coming once and find something good for him or her, and he will get back and back and back. After finishing this, you need to calculate the revenues. How I will be getting money from this story, which is number five, revenue streams. List down all the revenues streams, and please, if you are having one revenue stream, this is a bit risky. Of course, entrepreneurship and startups are risky at the start, but it's more, you are getting the risky more and more and more. And everyone sees now, due to COVID-19, we're in an economic crisis. So if you have different revenue streams, this can make you a bit sustainable. Number six is the key resources. Who are the main resources, like the main team pillars, the main people, the key activities? What's the main activities of your start that you will be providing? As you see, number 6 and 7 is provided by the key partners, which we talked about in number 8 before in the team part. So we said that the partners, the co-founders, the team members are the key partners. Who are the suppliers? The main people for the supply chain of your startup. Number 9 is to list down all the costs for them. And here, a very simple basic calculation need to happen. If number 9 is bigger than number 5, we get back to that. I have a great idea, but I'm losing money. This is not business and not a startup. And you need to solve it from this stage to rethink how to get more revenues and less cost structure. But if you failed in this, so you're sorry to say it, but your startup has a big problem in the business model. Okay? So what we should have is that having a revenues or revenue streams more than cost. So this is what we call about profit. Unless that 9 bigger than 5, you are a bit of NGO or a social entrepreneur that's not doing business, and you need to think again of this. So this is an example for the business model canvas for Uber. Uber is a mobile application for getting cabs using a mobile application. It's very familiar worldwide. I think you maybe tried. So the value proposition: no need to wait for a taxi, a price is less than taxi, and easy payment. How they go there? Who are the targeting? As business travelers, people, convenience ride, and the channels is internet ordering and geographically planning. How they get a feedback or a customer relationship with the rating and the feedbacks from each ride, and a quick response if there's a problem. How they make money: 20% of the driver revenue, and the multiple when there is high traffic. So what's the key resources? The platform and the marketing. What's the key activities? Is that they get good user experience and they address illegal in the government so they can have Uber working in this country. The key partners are here, the drivers and the recruiters for each and every city. So what's the cost for them? Is the online support, rides and promo codes, the new city like going into business, the mobile application, and the development itself. So this is a quick example. There's a lot of examples that you can check it online. 4 is funding. Okay, I have a great idea. I did a business model canvas. I get my team. I know what I'm doing. So I need some money. How to get money? So if you are in the early stage, you can have some partners or shareholders. You can search for loans. Bonds is for bigger scale. Bank loans, but I don't recommend bank loans, especially in the start, because you are in a very high risk. I totally recommend angel investors if you are still in the beginning or the ideation, just an ideation and a prototype. So angel investors are the best. If you are in the growth stage, VC, which is a venture capitalist, is also good for you. You can find some seed funding organization. Some organization gives some grants. There's a lot of competitions online and offline for startups that give a prize of different amount of money without taking any shares from your startup. This is also some good money for a start, few $1,000s. There's also the crowdfunding platforms. It's familiar in some countries. There's the incubation and acceleration programs. You can find out most of the governments and private sector globally are doing tech incubators and accelerators for startups who have ideas or they are in the early stage phase. Number 5, I got my money, I got everything. Let's start. Let's start with a prototype, an MVP, which is what is an MVP? It's the minimum viable product. And MVP is sometimes understand wrong. So as shown in the figure, if you are a startup to build a car, 1 and 2 and 3 is not an MVP. MVP is a full solution that is really working, but in a smaller scale. Like scooter, a bicycle, a motor, and then a car. All of them are a ways for transportation or kinds of transportation. Of course, there's different features. The car have an air condition, they have a bigger engine, whatever. They have a bigger space for a lot of people. The motorcycle is a less. The bicycle is less. But all of them as a function, you ride this object to take you from place A to B. The facilities and the features we can be removed and be minimized in the product. But solution number one, if I have a wheel or two wheels or a body of a car, this is not an MVP anymore. It doesn't work. It's functionless. So to have a prototype, my advice here is that you should finish the MVP in a few weeks. If it's starting to take months, you are doing something wrong. An MVP sometimes takes few days, not weeks actually. If you are expert, a bit of expert. Building an MVP, it's a cycle of a building, getting feedback, learning from the feedback, and getting back to build a better MVP. And it's go back and forth. It's a closed loop or a closed cycle to enhancement of the product or the final product. We are moving in enhancement in this cycle between building feedback loop, building feedback learn, building feedback learn. You go back to enhance your output. You go back getting more customers and more impact. So this was the main 5 pillars or 5 steps that you need to know. I will give you some final tips and then we will have open questions. So this is the cycle. You get inspired, you get a problem, you get a new idea, you this passion about the idea, you build a concept, discuss it with people, which is the MVP. Not only friends, you need a lot more than the friends. Because you need to go to the segment targeting and segmentation or the target audience. If they like it, complete. If not, get back to your idea. Maybe it's old, or as we mentioned at the idea, you feel it very good, but it's not. If they like it, go and do the business BMC or business model canvas. If it works and the numbers say that you will be getting profits from it, build your prototype or MVP in a very small time. Go for funding and either going to bootstrap. Bootstrapping is you fund yourself, either with family or friends or something like this. But if you need more funding, go to the ways of funding that we talked about. If you are looking for any funding, you need the ABC to have an MVP and to have a business model, stable business model. This also gets you how the startups move. So the startups move by ideating or ideation, then going for a concept, where at this part is the form, mission and vision and strategy, building the team. And I told you how to build a team and how to align the co-founders before it starts. This is one of the main pillars that make a lot of startups fail, the co-founders. What they are doing, the mission, to whom, what's the startup doing, who's our customers, what's the market share, is people understanding the people willing, so you take you to the validation or the lean startup. You do an MVP, okay, which is commuting and validating. Okay, you do the pivot or the trials, validate it with people, which is building, testing, and then learning. After finish the validation, you are now going to the market, to the real market, which is grow or scale up, or establish. So you have your papers. Sometimes you need to go legal, of course. So you need to incorporate the startup. So to have a legal documents for the startup, and then starting to get them to the market and start the real race, which is the market. How everything in papers are good, but when you go to real markets and you are asking people to pay you money, it's not easy to get money from people or the customers. So this is the real test. Another point I would like to say that startups are not a linear path. So it's not that easy, because if it's easy, as we mentioned, it's hard at the beginning. If it was that easy, everyone could be an entrepreneur, and there will be an entrepreneur bubble that a lot of countries are facing nowadays. But this is why 90% of the startups fail. The last question that you need to ask yourself and ask your competitor, ask your co-founder, sorry. All the books of entrepreneurs tell you what is the exit strategy if you fail, and tell you that a lot of startups failed a lot and a lot of entrepreneurs failed a lot at the early stage, and they started the second and third startup till they succeeded. But very few books or very few references that tell you what if we succeed in your work or startup. In this part, it's very hard. Like, we need to have be aligned, and we need to have a lot of what we say that what will happen if. Okay, so you need to write it down, put all the optimistic and pessimistic situations with your co-founders, think what's the next step, have the passion, and keep going. Now I almost finished my talk. We are almost like a bit of late of 2-3 minutes, but it's your turn now to work. I would like to thank Luhar section and the IAS and Mohammed and Abdul Rahman for this, for hosting this great webinar. Hope you contact us whenever you are free, whenever you would like to know more information about the initiative, or generally about any advice or mentorship about startups and entrepreneurship. We are here, and it's time for questions. So I'm here if you have any questions. And this is, of course, our contacts. And I will share with Mohammed the full presentation, so you can see the links, you can see discounts, and you can follow us if you need any help. We are there. Hope you enjoyed the talk, and feel free to open the questions now.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have a question.
Of course.
Without an idea, can we do entrepreneurship? Like, if we don't have any ideas, so.
Excuse me, can you repeat the question, Abdul?
Yes, sir, sure. Yes, sir. Sir, can we do entrepreneurship without any idea?
Okay. So actually, no. You need to build an idea at the beginning. Without an idea, you wouldn't have a value. But maybe your question is, I don't have an idea, and I feel I could be good in owning a business, but how to find the idea?
Exactly, how to create that.
Yeah, how to get inspired. So getting inspired, ideas are divided in two places. One of them is finding a problem, and you are trying to find a solution. So your family, your friends are facing something in your community, like the traffic is very bad, there's no private cars, there is a bad delivery thing.
Yes.
There's a bad sanitizing, hygiene awareness. There is a lack of teachers or a lack of sessions. So you need to make videos about some topics, or with some special languages that there is no content online. These are places that you get inspired. I don't believe that anyone on this planet don't have some problems or facing some problems or
Yes, sir.
community there are some problems. How you are thinking to solve this? This is how you get inspired. Another way is what we say, like developing on current things. So you have a bicycle, for example, that you go with it to your work or school or university every day, and it's nice, it's easy to use, but you are like stubborn from the effort and you're a bit tired that you are every time you need to buy a skill. And you started to solve this by having a small motor to be embedded in this bicycle and make it electric. So it's electric bike, it's zero emission, it's good for the environment, and you are happy now that you are not doing a lot of effort bicycling or cycling every day. So this is
Great.
an innovation. So it's either come from an innovation from a product that is there now, or the other way is that there's a problem that you are trying to solve.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
So this is how you get the idea, mainly.
Okay, our next webinar will be on Monday, 18th of May 2020 at the same time. Mr. Ghulam Mustafa Abru from University Technology Petronas, Malaysia. We will discuss on study of COVID-19 from the perspective of control systems. Mr. Ghulam Mustafa Abru has done Bachelor's of Electrical Engineering from Hamdard University, Karachi, Sindh, Pakistan in 2015. Later, he did his Master's of Engineering in Control and Automation from Sir Syed University of Engineering and Technology, Karachi, Sindh, Pakistan in 2019. With his main research interest in the mathematical modeling and control design with unmodeled dynamics and exogenous disturbances, he is coming up with this topic titled as Study of COVID-19 from the Perspective of Control Systems. Mr. Ablu is currently pursuing his doctoral studies at the Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, University Technology Petronas, Malaysia on graduate assistantship. Well, the topic is COVID-19 and it is most hot topic yet. If you have questions in your mind like what is it, will what will happen now, when it will end, then this webinar is for you. You need to attend it. Thank you so much for your attention. We will email e-certificates to you within 1 or 2 working days. If you have any query, feel free to ask.
Thank you very much,
Thank you very much.
guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining the session. Especially thank you very much to Mohammed for your time. I know it's very crucial time in your country, but thank you very much for your time and your support. Thank you.
Thank you very much for invitation, and thank you. And I'm happy with your great work, guys. Have a nice evening.
Thank you very much. So stay blessed and stay safe. I'm going to close the meeting. I hope all of you will attend the next session. It will be on the COVID-19 and the control systems. So see you tomorrow. Thank you.